really get into this game. Keith McTighe, 55 yards out, in towards Mark Walken. He might be in around the house. Mark Walken knocks it back towards Alan Murphy. Micheál Kane has it. This to tie it up. Micheál Kane goes on a run, kicks it high and right footed. It's gone away to the left and wide, and that was a gilt-edged chance to tie it up. Keith McTighe, who drove it in. Mark Walken was involved in knocking it down, but Micheál took it on maybe a step or two too far, drove it out to the left and wide, and Endo O'Loughlin, who's discarded the baseball cap for this second half, will kick from the edge of the small square, taking a good long run up, almost back in Ballinrobe at this stage. He's going to run though about 15 yards to hit it. He struck it well, right out the middle. Alan Burke is moving into position, so too Brian Maloney. Alan Burke fields it superbly. On landing, he's met by Mark Walken. There too with Sean Grimes. Burke gets his kick in. Paul Doherty and Paul Finnerty out together. Finnerty got a hand to it. Paul Doherty got possession. They're tussling, they're tangling. Paul Doherty has been fouled. It's going to be a free in to Kilmaine, and the man coming forward to pick up the ball is Declan Coyne, but surely he's just doing the preliminary work for Andrew Casey, scorer-in-chief and general all-round marksman. Andrew, in fact, has come out. He's got the ball in his arms, and he will strike this from about 40 yards from goal. It's a little bit left of centre. The arms of Pádraig Costello are the nearest thing to Andrew as he tries to steady himself. Again, he's going to kick this from the hands. It's slightly left of centre. This, again, would open up a 2-point margin. Casey has struck it well, but again, it's tailed out to the right and wide. There hasn't been a whole lot in it in the last 5 minutes or so for Andrew Casey, but anything that has gone for him has gone against him. And those shots are just the wrong side of the post for Andrew at the moment, Kev.
It is, and it's killing the momentum of Kilmaine. I mean, they've gone from two up to 8 almost, you know, in the space of what's gone this 13 minutes, you know, and 6 wides in 13 minutes. It's killing all momentum they're trying to build up, and they may come to regret those misses.
Ballinrobe have possession. David Colleran sprinting inside is Harry Murphy. Colleran drives it long to Alan Murphy. He looks very sharp. Alan Murphy, the Irish schoolboy soccer international, pulled to the ground and fouled unceremoniously by Johnny McDonough. Vinnie Neary is going across. Alan Murphy is dusting himself down. In fact, he could be slightly more injured than we thought. No, he's up now again at the second time of asking. I see Liam Horan, the manager facilitator of Lake District Enterprise, out with a bottle of water. A Ballinrobe club man, of course, down to offer some encouragement. Martin Welch, the Ballinrobe manager as well, looking very anxious, a blue biro behind the ear, as Mark Walken has decided to leave this free on the ground, and he's going to strike it from the turf. The pitch in beautiful condition. Very little breeze. Anything that is perhaps blowing across his face, and this free from 30 yards out, it's left of centre. This, again, would tie it up. Mark Walken approaches, punts it through, it doesn't carry. Keith McTighe is in there, keeps it in play, has to go back out, and Donnacha McDonough, who's snapping at his heels as he has been all day, is there again for company. Somehow Keith McTighe holds on to possession. Back to Aidan Golden, he to Micheál Kane. Micheál Kane has to go back out, roaring for the Sean Grimes. Now he has it. Man over is Alan Murphy. David Colleran, this to tie it all up, and David Colleran has dropped it out to the right wide, and it's becoming a tale of many wides at this stage. 1-5-7, it remains on the scoreboard. But both sides are kicking this game away, perhaps, and this county under-21A football final remains balanced on a knife edge, a 1-point game. And I think both teams, Kevin, will be unhappy, to say the least, with the scoring return so far.
Pressure is building so much, Mike, now. I mean, it really is a boiling pot they're in at the moment. You know, it's getting very tense. Only, you know, less than 15 minutes to go now to who's going to be the champions at this grade for the first year of the millennium. So pressure is well there, and maybe that's why they're snatching a bit at it, because they're having some bad wides now in the last 10 minutes.
We've just passed the three-quarter mark. We're into the final 14 minutes of normal time, and Kilmaine have a slender 1-point lead. Aidan Golden, who used every bit of bulk he had to win back that ball. He to David Colleran, and he to Sean Grimes, and here come Ballinrobe. Grimes' pass intended for Micheál Kane has been cut out by Johnny Donlan. There facing was Harry Murphy. He finds Derek O'Dea to Declan Coyne, and Declan Coyne is having his work cut out to win possession. Finally struggles to his feet, back to Johnny Donlan, he to Alan Burke, and Kilmaine, who looked at a little bit more composed in the half-back line, drive it long. Andrew Casey and Pádraig Costello. Casey's got there first, very to the end line, keeps it in play, peeling away is Paul Doherty. In the middle is Declan Heenan, still Andrew Casey. He has room to swing the boot, but he's kicked it away out to the right and wide. Perhaps a pass inside might have been the better option, but Andrew, by the law of averages, I suppose, is destined to hit 1 or 2 before this game is over. It won't happen this time. It's gone out to the right and wide, and Paul Tiernan was the happiest man in Hollymount to see that one drop out by his right-hand goalpost. He'll kick from the edge of the square, slices through, it'll drop on top of Liam Butler. Butler went up to win it. Paul Finnerty makes himself available, so too does Rory Kane, and Rory Kane has it. Rory Kane sprints by Brian Maloney. This man played a minor championship game last night, so too did Alan Burke. To look at them out there, they look two of the fittest men on the field. Brian Maloney, who's faded out of the game completely, tries to set off on a run, but it's not being his day. Keith McTighe to David Colleran. Running outside him is Anthony O'Toole. David Colleran now finds O'Toole. O'Toole, a talented scrum half. Joey Maloney, who also plays soccer. Really, when you throw in the school side of things, the geography of the area, and the fact that most of these guys won All-Ireland Colleges B medals together last year, you get an idea of the backdrop to this game. It is so keenly contested, and it's won 5 to 8 points. Brian Maloney takes the 50, dropped in around the house. Liam Butler went up. The next score could be crucial. Paul Doherty, he's got room to swing the boot. It's going to be close. It's dropping. It's gone up and over, decides the umpire. It was very close. Paul Doherty judged it to perfection. Kilmaine have their noses back in front. That's Paul Doherty's first point of the afternoon. It comes 10 minutes from the end of normal time, and it leaves it 6 to 8 points.
Yeah, again, it's a little bit contentious, that one, but I think in fairness to Paul Doherty, the score that Andrew Casey got in the first half was definitely a point, so I don't think anybody can cribs with the fact that that kind of slightly dodgy one was given to Kilmaine this time. I think actually myself it was a point. It just crept inside it, and good score, great score to get now at this stage.
Ballinrobe now have Micheál Kane and Alan Murphy inside the 21-yard line. Kilmaine would seem to be sticking to their two-man full forward line as well. Andrew Casey and Paul Doherty alternating with Declan Heenahan. But Ballinrobe have won a free. It's just outside their own 50-yard line, and the temperature is rising out there on the field just as much as it's rising outside the wire. The crowd, which we estimate to be touching on 2,000, is kept enthralled, entertained, and really very, very difficult to hazard a guess as to the outcome at this stage. Kilmaine have the lead, 6 to 8. They have possession. Andrew Casey, 50 yards from goal. He's hit this one sweetly. It's very close. Again, though, it's gone out to the left and wide. And Andrew Casey, who has been operating on a shoot-on-side policy all day, has kicked 4 wides in this second half. He's kicked 1-4 in all. And in a game this tight, how those wides could be ruled later on this evening, but perhaps not. Kilmaine are out in front, and Paul Tiernan has to kick from the edge of the small square. Sean Grimes rises with Pat Kelly. The break falls towards Keith McTighe. Over there too is a Kilmaine man. It would look to be Declan Heenahan. Anthony O'Toole was there as well. Anthony O'Toole, I think a judge shall pick that ball off the ground. Free to Kilmaine. Alan Burke wants to take it. Alan, who's the son of the Kilmaine co-manager Mick, is steadying himself and now drops it in front of Paul Doherty. Paul Finnerty is there beside him. Still Paul Doherty trying to get room. He's been fouled by the Ballinrobe man Finnerty. Paul Doherty has the ball in his arms, and this free from 40 yards has the look of Andrew Casey territory about it. It's well within his compass, well within his range, and he's come out to take it as well. He hasn't had all that much luck in the last 10 or 15 minutes with efforts from freeze or play, but this could be the one which nudges Kilmaine a little further in front. It's dead centre. Again, Pádraig Costello standing as close as is legally possible to try and put him off as Andrew Casey drops it up and over, and the clenched fist of Ollie Welsh salutes that one. 1-7 to Kilmaine, 8 points to Ballinrobe, and he struck that one sweetly.
He did, and showed a lot of battle, Mike, because that wasn't an easy free. It was, 40 metres out. He knows the circumstances of the game now at this stage. Very tight. It's put them 2 ahead now. Their noses are further front. They still look the more dangerous team up front. You'd have to say that. The Ballinrobe attack has fallen away now in the last 7 or 8 minutes, and we haven't seen much from them.
Ballinrobe have brought Micheál Kane out to the half-forward line. I think Mark Walkin's gone inside, but it's all very fluid in there anyway. Nobody really playing to a set position. The aforementioned Kane has the ball. This is the man who could yet inspire a comeback. Micheál Kane over to Ronan Mackin. Mackin has a chance. He's dropped it. It's very close. It's gone in off the upright and over the bar, and that had the hearts racing. No matter what side of the fence you were standing on, Ronan Mackin left very little margin for error there. It was almost in slow motion as he chipped it up with the right inside of his right boot. It hit the inside of the upright and dropped onto the top of the net. 1-7 to 9. Kilmaine are still a point in front, and we have a little under 7 minutes of normal time left.
Well, as I say, he made a great effort at missing it, but I'd say his heart was in his mouth. He didn't really hit it with a lot of conviction, and as you say, it looked like slow motion, but it nudged off the post. It's a 1-point game again, and maybe at this stage a draw really would be a fair result. They've gone so hard at it, both teams. It'd be terrible to see one of them come out losing on the day. I see a few men running in through the gate on the far side. I presume a league game has ended somewhere in South Mayo, and they're making their way in to catch the tail end of this game. If you're on your way somewhere in a car or at home listening, this game is a mile-a-minute stuff. It's entertaining. It's got a little bit of everything, and Kilmaine have a 1-point lead. This is the Supermax County Under-21A football final, coming to you live from St. Coman's Park in Hollymount on Midwest Radio Sport. 24 minutes gone in the second half, 6 remaining, and Kilmaine have won a free in their own half-back line. Sean Grimes walks away from the debris, as it were. There's a Kilmaine man down injured. He's being attended to at the moment. Can't see his number from here. Alan Burke is taking a swig of water. I think it's Alan Burke. In fact, it's Pat Kelly. Alan Burke is standing beside him, and this is a chance for everybody to take a breather, including those of us up here in the commentary box. Remember, they were priced at even money this morning, both these teams. 8-1 the draw, and we could yet have another day out. Westport, Brafey and Ballintober have all fell by the wayside, as have Moy Davits, Claremorris and Swinford. The last two left standing are the teams you see here in front of you today, Kilmaine and Ballinrobe. Alan Burke has taken the free. The Kilmaine man that was injured is up on his feet again and fit to resume. There's a bit of mayhem back there in the Ballinrobe full back line, but Anthony O'Toole, as he's done all day, brings everything to a sensible close. He's won a free. He caught a very high tackle, but he's up on his feet again, and Pádraig Costello takes the free. Pádraig Costello to Sean Grimes, he to Paul Finnerty, and Finnerty's on a run up the centre. Runs into 3 tackles, still Paul Finnerty, soloing forward, breaks 3-4 tackles, still Paul Finnerty, still in possession, still is Paul Finnerty. The ball runs away, he dives on it to try and win it back. Seems to have picked up a knock. There's a Kilmaine man down injured 20 yards away. The end result of it all is a hot ball, I think. Vincent Neary's going back to check on the injured Kilmaine man. Seemed to have hurt himself on that run that Paul Finnerty was making. There was men bouncing left, right and centre. It's another stoppage. This disrupting the momentum and the rhythm of the game. And is this suiting anyone, Kevin, do you think? Well, it's certainly suiting me, Mike, grand, because you get a chance to catch your breath. I mean, the heat around the saucer now at the moment is unbelievable. I think everybody is nearly out on their feet at this stage. It looks like a serious enough injury. I can't make out who it is. Maybe Pat Kelly from here, is it? He got a dirty bang as Paul Finnerty was soloed out with the ball. Paul looking to hold on to possession. I wonder what the ref is going to do at this stage. Probably throw it in, I suppose, give everybody a break. But it's a turnover of possession for Ballinrobe, who need it badly now as the clock ticks down.
4 minutes of normal time left. The man who's injured, I think, is Alan Burke, who also picked up an injury last night in the Connacht Minor Championship game between Mayo and Sligo, a game which Mayo won by a point. The scoreboard reads 1-7 to 9. Kilmaine are a point in front. Alan Burke looks to be none the worse for that tackle. He's trying to run it off at the minute. Vincent Neary has gone forward. He's going to throw the ball up. It's about 60 yards from the Kilmaine goal, and Sean Grimes goes up with 2 Kilmaine men. The man who's won it is Brian Maloney. He's also won a free, and Kilmaine have this chance to lift the siege. Pat Kelly will take the free, driven down the centre, down the throat of Pádraig Costello, the Ballinrobe full back at this stage. Costello does very well, wins it and finds David Colleran. Has this move a bit of a Kevin Foley look to it? David Colleran to Keith McTighe. McTighe is tackled superbly by Conor Maloney. The ball goes out over the line on the far side. Last touch the Kilmaine man decides Jimmy Cohen, who's running the line on the far side. On this near side is David Healy. He's watching on like the rest of us. The ball inside is dropped by Mark O'Brien. Falls to Micheál Kane. Can't get it up into his arms. Still Micheál Kane trying to make some room. Micheál Kane kicks it high and right footed, and the sides are level. 2 minutes and 40 seconds from the end of normal time, and we have a level ball game. Ballinrobe 10 points, Kilmaine 1-7, and the man who's kicked them level is a man called Micheál Kane. He's worked very hard out there. He shows a little clenched fist to his teammates down the field. Now, in time-honoured, cliched fashion, this is all about who wants it most. 27 minutes and 40 seconds on the stopwatch. Endo O'Loughlin is taking a very long run up to this one. He's going to give it what you'd have to think. Approaching now, makes contact, drives it out the centre. It's going to carry inside the Ballinrobe half. Harry Murphy and David Colleran went up together. Between them, they knocked it into the lap of Brian Maloney. Maloney went to free and spots a runner. It's his brother Conor. Conor has it. Conor Maloney, 21 yards out. Man outside and alone, it's Declan Heenan. Can he write himself into the annals of Kilmaine folklore? He can't. He's passed it away. Sean Grimes wins it back. Sean Grimes wins a free. Free to Ballinrobe, 50 yards from their own goal, out to the far side. Keith McTighe racing onto it. Keith McTighe showing a fresh pair of legs, out in front of Johnny McDonough, steps inside as his jersey tugged and is fouled. Ballinrobe wanted the advantage, they've got the free. Keith takes it, drops it into Mark Walkin. Mark Walkin pulls away from Kieran Coyne. Still Mark Walkin, he's got to get rid of it soon. Man all alone is Sean Grimes. Sean Grimes has it, 25 yards out. Grimes' kick is blocked down. Who's there? That man, Micheál Kane. Kane kicks it high and right foot. It comes off the outside of his right boot. Ronan Mackin tries to keep it in. He's not going to get there. It's gone out over the end line. It's gone out to the left and wide. And with 73 seconds of normal time left,